So I want to finish with three things as we're talking about here. 3 steps here that I have. 3 steps of becoming irreplaceable. These are things that I learned from my coach as I started my company, a guy named Clay Clark with Thrive 15. Dun, dun, dun. A little shameless plug right there. Thrive15.com. All right? 3 things to become irreplaceable at work. I want to get into these. Number 1, let's see, becoming irreplaceable. Bull. Had to work on that spelling there. Number 1, we have got to be the spark. Remember talking about the 10 things that don't cost you anything? It's all about you becoming the spark, being positive, being honest, having energy when you come to work, coming prepared, walking around with your eyebrows up, looking for things, searching for ways that you can become the answer. Where does your company have a hole? Will you become the spark that leads the effort to fill the hole? Or will you be like everybody else, just showing up? I'm showing up. I don't really want to be here. I'm not really getting paid enough to be here. So every single little thing that I do, they really should pay me more. Did you notice how I picked that piece of paper up? They should pay me more for that. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about? I mean, again, I've been there before. I know exactly what I'm talking about because I've been there and I've done all this stuff before. You know? Going the extra mile. Well, I picked that up. That's the extra mile. Thank you very much. The other day when I was cleaning the bathroom, I actually took the cleaning supplies and put them back where I found them. Extra mile, ladies and gentlemen. Does that make sense? Because the entire time that I'm cleaning the bathroom, I'm going, this is stupid. They're not paying me enough. And I'd lower the bar so far that just doing a tiny little thing for me becomes the extra mile. As opposed to doing it with a smile, as opposed to doing it honestly and actually cleaning behind the toilet. All right? I'm sorry, I just brought some stuff up. But these are things that we just cut corners on when we don't want to be there. So be the spark. What is the skill gap? Talk with your boss about this. What is the skill gap that you're seeing? Ask him point blank, Michaela, some skills. What kind of skills do you think, what talents do you think I need to be working on and developing? I promise your boss will probably tell you. You could probably work on this, this, and this. As opposed to going, well, you just don't like me. Actually take ownership of that. Okay, I'm going to go do it. Be the spark. The boss saves money by not hiring from the outside. We talked about this. They want, guys, as a business owner, I want to hire, I want to promote from within. Jess, I want to be able to bring you in and I want to move you up because you get it. You've been with me. You've gone through the training. You're part of the flow. People know you. I want to move up with you. I don't want to have to go to the outside. Bosses want to do this. All we have to do is be the spark at work. I love this here from Ayn Rand here. Do not let your fire go out. Spark by irreplaceable spark in the hopeless swamps of the not quite, the not yet, and the not at all. In other words, in the status quo, be the spark. Be the one that stands out. Be the one that comes to work doing the 10 things that are for free, that cost you nothing. Let's say you're in customer service right here. You have to appoint yourself, and this is a key thing. For you to be the spark, you personally have to appoint yourself. You have to appoint yourself into that position. If you don't appoint yourself, you will constantly say, my boss is making me do this. Does that make sense? As opposed to, Michaela, no, I am appointing myself as the king of this area right here. I am the king or the queen of the make line. That is how I'm identifying myself. Because if you don't identify yourself as that, you will always look at it as somebody else is making you do it. And you will never have the spark. It just won't happen. You have to take ownership of that thing. Can you think of somebody at your job right now, somebody that you are working with that has that spark? Somebody that is able to come in and work and has the energy. Another word for this is energy. Can you think of somebody? I want you to take a moment, get that person in your mind. I want you to write their name down. Who is that person? It might be you. It might be you. Think of that person. I want you to write that down really quickly. This person that can fix this problem. How about this? Can you think of a problem that you notice at your job right now? You're going, this is an issue that we have. We've had it for a long time. If you can identify it, write it down. What is that problem? What do you think it's going to take to save it? What do you think it's going to take to fix it? If you're not careful, Michaela, we'll sit here and go, well, John just needs to do a better job. If John would do better, everything would be good. You're out of control of what John does. What can you do? Again, it's important for us to identify those things and discover what we can do. And then we go to work each day endeavoring to do that very thing. Okay? So, number one here, be the spark. Number two, love this. Second step here is you have to spread the fire. Jack Welch used to he used to be the CEO for GE. He took the company, talk about spreading the fire, talking about an inspire and somebody that brought talent. He increased the value of the company 4,000% while he was there. Is that adding value? Is that adding value? Okay. I'm thinking that's adding value. He brought his skill, he brought his talent, things that he had learned, and he had increased. Here's what he says about spreading the fire. Number one, you've got to be a person that has energy. He calls these his 4 E's. You can Google this. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, this is part of the language, part of the culture at Gaetanos. If you're a manager, I would encourage you to have these 4 E's. This is a great way to evaluate people on an ongoing basis. Is grading them on an A to F scale, just like in school, on their energy. This is just bringing the energy to work. It's what we're talking about here, being the spark. Number two is being able to energize other people. In our next section, after we get out of the worker level, we're going to talk about the team builder level. This is where we learn how to energize, how to influence other people. It's great that you come, Michaela, to work every day energized, but are you able to pass that energy to other people? Where people are going, hey, man, I really like working with Michaela. When I work with Michaela, it's a lot of fun. Do you guys have any employees that you work with? And it's a lot of fun because there's a lot of energy. Okay? How about this? It's a lot of fun and there's a lot of energy and you feel like you get a lot done. You guys been there before? This is the type of people that we want to be. Energizers. Number three, execution. This is actually doing the work that you've been asked to do. It's doing it at a competent level, doing it at a level that your manager has asked you to do it. And then finally, number four is having the edge. Somebody that is able to spread the fire is someone that is able to walk on a daily basis in these characteristics. I've got the energy. I'm able to energize other people. I'm able to do the job that I've been asked to do. And the edge, I'm able to work through struggle. It's just been a hard day. Do you know people like that? It's just been a hard day and you just can't get anything out of them. You know, I remember being a coach and I would have athletes that would come out on the field. Coach, it's just been you don't understand, it's just been a hard day. And I'm going, so you're telling me that because you're having a hard day, you're not going to be able to give me any effort today? Yeah, it's just, okay, get out. Just get out, come back tomorrow. I don't even want to see you because you're just going to frustrate me all day. Does that make sense? As opposed to being able to say, yes, things are difficult, but I'm able to focus and get things done. This is what we call the edge. I love evaluating. I love talking to my employees. I love talking to other managers who have employees and going over the 4 E's. So the question for you guys, have you gotten to this place yet where you're able to spread the fire, where you're able to influence and impact other people? The principle here is that you've got to bring the fire to the job and spread it around. Get other people energized, other people to follow you. Spark is the energy. Spreading the fire is the energizer. It's this second piece here, being able to energize your environment. A company that is growing is a company where the fire has spread. I'll let you know right now, so many managers out there feel like they are the only ones that have the fire. And they're depressed. I was talking with a whole group of managers just the other night. They are tired. They are worn out. Okay? It's really unfortunate when you have a leader that has no fire. A leader that shows up every day. Oh, this is so frustrating. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about workers, okay? It's important for us to have that energy. Does that make sense? So we're looking for holes in the company, and we're looking to take our spark to it. How can I take my spark to this problem? Spark is nice, but when you find the energy, when you find the ability, the talent to energize other people, you're off the charts. You're moving up really quickly. So be contagious, not obnoxious at work. And then finally, we come to number 3, which is burning the boats. Oh, didn't want to erase all that. Burning the boats. You guys ever heard of this phrase before? There was a story, actually there are numerous stories of battles in the past where the commanders would get their armies and they would do the initiative, they would move forward, and then they would cut off any way for the army to retreat. And so now it was win or die. It's what we call burn the boats. Story that I'm referring to here, you can go to the Google on this thing. But Cortez, Spanish conqueror, he's got his boats. His objective, he was told, I want you to go take this island. So what he did was he ensured success by getting to the island, getting everybody off of the boat, onto the island, and then everybody turns around, the boats are burning. The boats are sinking. There is no retreat. Guys, it is win or die trying. This is the idea behind burning the boats. This will ensure your success. When you don't have a backup plan, this ensures success. This is the job that I'm going after. This is the future that I'm going after. We win or we perish. So, on this one here, this is number 3, burn the boats. Again, this is a way to set yourself apart, to be like nobody else in the workforce. Number 1 here, I'm going to call it A. You gotta. Love this language here, okay? You got to start. You've got to take the initiative. You have to take the steps. You have to put things into action. That's why every single time when we get together, Michaela, what's your action step going to be? Well, I don't know. I'm just kind of enjoying learning. It's not what you know. It's what you do in the workforce, okay? As a student, it's what you know. In the workforce, it's what you do that becomes valuable. So you've got to start. Next of all, you've got to take the boat to the island. In other words, you have to move toward the goal. You got to get yourself in close proximity to your goal, where you're wanting to go, the people that you want to be around, the company that you want to be with, the guy that you just met, okay? You have started. Now you've got to get the boat to the island. Hey, how you doing? Just thought you'd enjoy this email, you know. You just want to get to that place. Next of all, once we get there, I love this. Once we get there, we got to burn the boat. Well, if this doesn't work, I'll just go over here. Get this. Our daughter that's just graduating from college, we've already had this conversation a long time ago. There is no coming home, honey. We've had that conversation. When you graduate from college, there is no coming home. You will stay there until you have found your next job. Well, I just thought I'd come home and look. No, you won't, because home is comfortable, and we don't want you to be in that spot. You have got to stay there. In other words, we were helping her burn the boat. Is that fair enough? Okay? So we got to burn the boat. There is no burn the boat. There is no, well, if this doesn't work, I'll just try that. And if that doesn't work, then I'll do this. And if that doesn't work, we'll figure out something. Okay? That type of thinking will always reduce you to the status quo. It will reduce you to the minimum. All right? Well, this is good enough. I'll just stick with this. Number 4, we have to attack. And finally, number 5, win. What if I attack and don't win? What happens then?
When you're a sucking employee?
Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you're a sucking employee, but if you attack and don't win, you attack again. And you attack again because there's no boat to go back to. Okay? It's classic. We got all this energy and we want to go do it, and we get out there and we fail and we quit because we fail. Because we never did learn how to deal with failure. In school, failure is negative. In school, failure is wrong. In school, failure is frowned upon. You guys, when you get out of school in life, I'll let you know right now, failure is all a part of it. Okay? I want to give you these three things here. You have to act. You have to fail. You have to learn. You have to adjust. These are the 4 steps to win in life. And failure is the second step. Robert Kiyosaki, the guy that I learned this from. Act, fail, learn, adjust. Act, fail, learn, adjust. Act, fail, learn, adjust. Act, fail, learn, adjust. He went to this is the guy that wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He went to his rich dad and he goes, "What's the big deal? I'm just not having, it just didn't work and it didn't work." And his rich dad looks at him with a smile and goes, "You're not failing enough. You're afraid to fail. And because you're afraid to fail, you're not acting. You have got to fail more and you've got to fail faster." Oh my gosh. Again, I've been trained. It's been ingrained in my head. Don't fail. Don't flunk this test. Don't mess up. You must, we have to make the A. We have to pass. Does that make sense? And it's great for school, but in the workplace, it can really, really hurt us. Failure is all part of the deal. I'm going to apply for this job. I'm going to go through the process. If I don't get it, I'm going this one. If I don't get it, I'm going this one. If I don't get it, I'm going this one. Each time, act, fail, learn, adjust. If we don't learn this, life will be very, very difficult because your life will include a ton of failure. I'm just going to go ahead and toss that out. Michaela, even if you do everything perfectly, failure is a part of your future. Now, there's a motivational speaker. Get ready for failure, okay? Because it's a part of your future. Future, failure. It's all part of the deal. The question is going to be, what do you do when you fail? Will you get up? Will you move? Will you learn? Will you make adjustments? Will you burn the boats and move forward? Or will you just say, "Oh, I'll just stay here. It's too hard. I tried that." Oh, I've heard that so many times. "Oh, I've tried that, Clay. It didn't work." We've got to move forward. Retreat is not an option. We've got to be all in. You guys, commit 18 to 24 months. A challenge for you. Commit the next 18 months. Okay, in the next year of your life. Clay, I'm kind of struggling with the next 18 hours of my life. All right? The next year of your life, commit to being the spark, spreading the fire, and burning the boats. I'm all in, whether it be in your classes at school. I mean, how many of you guys would like to make A's in school, all A's? You guys like, that'd be nice. Okay, and you guys may be making A's already. But if you're not making A's, it's going to take a commitment. It might go beyond your gift set to make all A's. That's how it was for me, all right? It wasn't in my gift set to make all A's. So I had to work really hard to make the grades. It always frustrated me so much when other people, it was in their gift set. They just made good grades and they never studied. It frustrated me. And if I wasn't careful, I would say, I'm a bad person. I'm not good enough. But it was interesting because it was kind of flip-flop because over here on the athletic field, I had gifts that they didn't have. So it was kind of flip-flop on that. Every one of us has gifts that comes natural. There are things that you do and you do really well. You probably do better than other people. But then there are talents that you need to develop and get better and better. So here we go. Change your reputation. It's going to take you 2 to 3 months to change your reputation. If you have a reputation at work of not working hard, being a slacker, not being the spark, not being the outstanding employee, don't go do one thing, Reuben, and then think, how come nobody noticed? Now we're back to that piece of trash. I picked up the trash. How come I'm not getting promoted? What's going on? The past 3 days, I've been here earlier than anybody else. It's not fair. Shut up. Over the next 2 to 3 months, it takes 2 to 3 months to change a reputation. It'll take another 2 to 3 months to change the conversation about you. 2 to 3 months for your bosses to all of a sudden begin to look at you different. Takes that long of consistent new activity. Because how many of you guys have been this way before, where you have them in a box, this is how they are, and then all of a sudden they started to change. You're going, oh, they're starting to change. And then they make a mistake, they go right back in the box. I knew that you weren't any good. That'll happen all the time. So it takes 2 to 3 months of consistent activity, positive activity, to get out of the box. And then you want to change their conversation when they talk about you, whether it's talking about you in their head or whether it's talking about you to other people. Because now your boss is going to go to somebody else, Reuben, and they're going to go, man, Reuben's been doing X, Y, and Z. And that person's going to go, Reuben? What do you mean? So now that person has to get changed. So you have to change the conversation. And then next of all, change the compensation. Boop, this is what we love. 6 months. 6 months to change the compensation. Consistently being the spark, spreading the fire, burning the ship, and then finally changing your practical application or your practical education. 12 months. For you to do this, it's going to take you a good 12 months to get where you want to get. Question is, will you be able to say, I'm not going to stop till I get there? I'm not going to stop till I get there. Yeah, this is difficult. Yeah, this is hard, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to have good customer service. I'm going to follow the 3 R's. I've talked to Doug. I've talked to my manager. They've told me the things I need to work on. I'm going to keep doing it because I want to be a star employee, because I know that if I do it here, this will be a stepping stone to my next position, which will be a stepping stone to my next position, to the next position, to the next position. But if you are a status quo employee, you want to go to another place, somebody makes a phone call, they're okay. They're good. I don't want to hire okay. I want to hire exceptional. Fair enough? So this is how we become irreplaceable. Again, it's not rocket science, but you have to be deliberate. You have to be focused, and you have to be consistent. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this session here, session 7 of Winning in the Workplace. Next session, our final session, we're going to talk about how to make more money. It's very interesting. I, for 47 years of my life, did not know how to make money. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to show you some different ways of how we look at money and how we look to expand our amount of money. It's going to be really good. So looking forward to having you in session 8.